you left, and then I was with her. I had time with her. And that's when I opened up. I talked to her about the file.
Yeah.
I said, I know you know about this file, but you haven't looked through it. You haven't read it. You haven't seen. I said, I think you might understand your dad a little more and the situation a little more if you take a look at it. So after she was done packing, we were down here in the office about 11 o'clock, and I pulled that fat ass file out.
Yeah.
And I put it in front of her. I said, you can take this home with you, or we can burn it. I said, it's up to you, whatever you want to do. And she just started grabbing papers from it and looking through it. And she found the pleading that showed no visitation, but was asking for money. She saw the other one that said supervised visitation, trying to say you're a drug addict and you're an alcoholic and this and that. And she's like, why? I don't understand. And then I had the other divorces.
That's a very similar thing.
Because her mom was married, 3 times? I mean, you guys were never married, but she was married 1, 2, 3 different, anyways. So I had that. And so she was reading them and she started to see the similarities.
Yeah. We've talked about like not talking bad when you have a kid with, somebody else and you're co-parenting and all this other stuff. And regardless of the situation, like not talking bad about the other person.
Right.
Right. When she was a kid,
mm-hmm.
child support, I'm not discussing with you.
Uh-huh.
You're a child.
Mm-hmm.
I am not having discussions about child support with her.
Mm-hmm.
Those discussions are between me and her mother. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, or visitation or like anything that's happening.
Right.
Has not, and any issues that I have with her mother when when she's a little girl, I'm not talking to her about.
Right.
I'm talking to her, either her mother or my attorney, which is the way it usually would go.
And the truth is that we didn't even have to speak or say. The document spoke for us.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's why I did that, because we knew this day would come. And here's your evidence, baby. Yeah. Here you go. You can see.
You can read it.
Yes.
And then you guys burned it all.
She's private investigator. Yes. We had no idea where you were. She was like, what? She had no idea about any of this.
Yeah.
She had no idea about any of it.
Yeah.
So we went to the back and we burnt that shit. And she took a video, and it was I'm sitting back and she's like, come on, you want to throw some in? I'm like, no, baby, you do it. I'm like, I'm doing fine. Just watching you release and let go.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But it was very emotional to watch her do this and hear the things that she was saying while she was burning them, and then hearing her laugh.
Yeah.
And not only getting her to forgive her, even you, but her mom, like everyone, just release, let go of everything. Yeah.
There was somebody that I was talking to about like not worrying about stuff sometimes and just doing the right thing. Mm-hmm. Like, because sometimes it's like, well, you're kind of like putting things in order or in perspective, like, well, this happened and now what am I going to do? Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's just like, well, what's the right thing to do? Your little daughter is telling you things that you can tell are coming from her mom's mouth.
Right.
And they're fucking driving you crazy.
Right.
And it's like, what is the right thing to do?
She's triggering you.
It's keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut and don't say anything about her mom. That's the right thing to do.
Right. And that takes a lot of self-discipline to do that.
And another thing that we talked about was when someone figures out the system.
Right.
And they put you through the freaking ringer, like you said. And it's limited visitations, like supervised visitations.
No visitations.
Pay this money. Oh, you make tons of money. At every turn, you're getting screwed. Mm-hmm. Not only that, at the same time, your daughter's being brainwashed.
Right. Yeah. And you're having to fight to see her every time it's your time.
We've had to talk to detectives. Like it's gotten to the point where like you have to like weigh out very serious things. So the relationship is going to be tough. As long as there is this connection, it's going to be tough. Like I can see the writing on the wall. Like we saw this from the very beginning.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, when does that connection end. It's when the child support ends, when the visitation ends, and she can make all her decisions for herself. Nobody can tell her you can't go visit dad because dad's a piece of shit.
Right.
And now dad can say, you want to come visit me? Come visit. But it's almost like I get screwed until she's 18. And now I get to step in and help her get her life started, start building a relationship, and it's almost like it's not fair. But you can't look at it that way.
Right.
What is the right thing to do? The right thing to do is take care of your kid. Get to know your kid. Build a relationship. And I'm looking forward to doing that. I know it's not going to be easy. And I mentioned it to her because, it's like you said, it takes time.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to do that. And I know she is too, you know. And there's a couple pictures that you have here on the chair that I'm sure are out because you guys were looking at them or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's pictures of when she was first born and I was with her. And if you look at pictures of me and Michaela when she was a little baby, when she was first born, and the time that I was with her until me and her mom weren't together anymore.
It was about 12 months.
Yeah, it was about a year. I mean, the pictures are pretty much identical between me and her and me and Audrey and me and Joey.
Right.
There is no difference. It wasn't until I was until me and her mom split that everything changed. I was younger. I wasn't a different guy. I still felt the same way. I still love my daughter.
Yeah.
It was just tough. That's why I was getting emotional earlier. Just kind of like, fuck, man. It didn't have to be like that.